I've been with my husband for 10 years and married for 5. Our relationship has always been rocky. He works out of town 90% of the time, and I stay home with the kids. I can't pinpoint exactly when it started, but he has slowly started destroying my self-confidence. The first example I can think of is him saying, I'm not his ideal type of woman. And the most recent was last week when he told our 4-year-old he was going to get a girlfriend to help mommy around the house. I've told him how hurtful and upsetting these comments are. He will stop for a while, but eventually he makes another comment or jab about how I'm not good enough. Screaming kids, piled up laundry, and the suffocating silence of an empty house. When you spend 24 hours a day entirely alone in a house where there is no one to talk to you, the walls start closing in on you. My husband was away, living his life in different cities, meeting new people, while my entire existence was frozen inside these 4 walls. Whenever he called, I would hold on to this tiny shred of hope that maybe, just maybe, this time he would speak to me with love. But instead, his calls were nothing but long, exhausting lists of complaints. The house is a mess. You don't take care of yourself anymore. Look at other wives. Look how well maintained and sharp they are. Every single conversation carried a hidden jab, a subtle insult. These comments slowly hollowed me out from the inside. My self-esteem hit absolute zero. I genuinely started to believe that maybe the problem was me. Maybe I just wasn't enough, but then everything changed. One day, when he returned from an out-of-town trip, his behavior was completely off. He kept his phone face down on the table at all times, and he even started taking it into the bathroom with him, warning signs that I had never noticed before. One night, while he was fast asleep, his phone suddenly lit up. It was a notification from an unknown number. Can't wait to see you next week, babe. My heart instantly dropped into my stomach. My hands began to shake and pour with sweat. When I looked deeper into it, I uncovered our horrifying reality. That 90% of the time he spent out of town wasn't just dedicated to work. He was completely funding another woman's lifestyle while constantly telling me at home that we were on a tight budget. When I confronted him the very next day, instead of showing an ounce of remorse or shame, he turned the entire blame around on me. You've become the kind of woman that makes me never want to come home anyway, he said. That was the day I finally realized our relationship wasn't just rocky. It was completely dead. A lot of people ask me how a wife instantly knows when her husband is cheating. People think women possess some magical detective powers, but the truth is, it isn't magic at all. It's just basic, predictable psychology. If your partner has suddenly started exhibiting these specific behaviors, there is a 99% chance that something is seriously wrong behind the scenes. When they suddenly change a password they've had for years, or when their phone screen is strictly kept face down on every surface. If a call comes in and they immediately step out of the room to answer it, know right then that something is hidden in the dark. This is perhaps the most fascinating psychological trick. When someone knows they are doing something deeply wrong, they project their own guilt onto you by attacking your character. You're completely paranoid. You're losing your mind. Why do you always have to cross-examine me? These phrases are classic defensive mechanisms designed to make you question your own sanity. Sudden and constant irritability. Things that used to be completely normal or small mishaps suddenly trigger massive, explosive arguments. This happens because their emotional energy is no longer being invested in you. It is being drained somewhere else. A sudden urge to buy expensive new clothes, wearing a brand new cologne, or hitting the gym aggressively, essentially doing all the things to impress someone else that they haven't bothered to do for you in the last 5 years. My husband was playing out every single one of these steps perfectly, and without even realizing it, I was beginning to follow those exact same footsteps. Most of the time, I do not feel guilty about this, because in my mind, he drove me to this point. He broke me first. But every sin has an expiration date, and every temporary escape eventually hits a dead end. Today, the guilt is eating me alive. When I looked at my children's innocent faces this morning, a sudden wave of absolute self-loathing hit me. Oh, what kind of path have I stumbled onto? Is this really who I am now? Is this all that is left of my identity? I'm not asking for advice. I know I'm the asshole. I just wanted an anonymous place to vent since I can't talk to anyone about this.